इसका टेक्नोलॉजी का लव तो कम नहीं हो सकता है, लेकिन क्यूआर का हिसाब सिंपल हो सकता है।
क्या? कैसे?
खाता बुक क्यूआर से मैन, ये सब ऐप से पेमेंट एक्सेप्ट करता है और फुल हिसाब को एक जगह दिखाता है।
अरे हिसाब सिंपल हो गया।
खाता बुक बिजनेस हुआ इजी मैन।
Does having experienced Indian batting lineup in the middle over allows you to be aggressive at the top and help you set the tempo?
I think just having a experienced middle order just in general helps out any situation. Obviously, I wouldn't say it changes our mindsets up front there. We always just trying to look to get off to the best start possible, whether they're there or not. So obviously knowing that they're behind you, or they still need to bat. You got the likes of Sky, or Surya, Polly, Hardik. They're still coming in. Obviously, when you're out there, so you just bat to the situation. And if you're still out, lucky enough to still be out there batting with them, it's just important that you end up giving them the strike at most of the time, obviously, because they're the biggest strikers of the ball. So yeah.
Right. Initially, teams were preferring to bat first. Now, in the second half, it seems like they are preferring to chase. So, as an opener, how does it change?
I think the only thing is when setting a score, you're a little bit unsure what a par score is unless you bat enough time out in the middle. You'll figure out what's a good score. And then the second one is just obviously knowing what your target is and how to go about it. It's pretty difficult when you bat first to say what's a good total. But eventually over time, the more you bat, the more you get a sense of how to figure it out. So that's I think it's just individuals, what they like the most.
Okay, but do you prefer having a target in front and then chasing?
That doesn't bother me, to be honest. Always if I bat second anyway, I try and bat as if I'm going to set a target anyway. So not too much. Doesn't really bother me.
All right. Tell us about your opening stand. You've been now off late opening with Ishan Kishan. So how does the approach becomes different having Ishan or having Rohit as a opening partner?
Not much has changed, to be honest. I think me and Ishan have a good understanding, just as me and Roy have a good understanding. Obviously, Ishan's young and upcoming, and very talented. So for him to really show off his flair is what we like to call it, is something that's nice to see. He really likes to come out and play a lot of his shots, and sometimes it can help me if I'm not going. It ends up taking a lot of the pressure off me, which is a pretty good thing in a partnership, especially up front there.
Okay. You had a slow start for this season. What was going through in your mind in the first few games?
To be honest, there wasn't much. I knew I was hitting the ball well in the nets. I just made a couple of silly mistakes in the first bit of the tournament. Nothing that can't be fixed. Before it was just a mental thing. Obviously, I hadn't batted for a long time, and it was me just making sure, just trying to get over that mark. Once I found some rhythm, that's when I just started to feel a lot better. Also, especially out in the middle. So that was all. I think the whole time being in the ball well, it's just a matter of just doing it out there then.
Okay. But does this rhythm had to do anything with the long break you had?
Yeah, obviously, I think it did a little bit. To be honest, I was a little bit lost in how to build the innings. I don't know when to go hard, when not to, mean, take once I was a little bit confused that for some reason, I think it was because of the break. But obviously getting some time, opportunity to bat a little bit longer in the middle, and having a chat to one or two of the coaches, it just helped me out to just figure it out and understand much better now.
Right. The Mumbai Indians looks very settled throughout the season. What makes this team so balanced and tough to beat?
I'd say what makes us balanced is everyone understands their roles in the team, and we are also very adaptable. I think that's one of the things in our team that we do really well. I think it's just we understand each other very well. Obviously, this team. Obviously, the core group of the team's been around each other for a long time, so that also helps a lot. Obviously, I'm still getting to. It's only my second season here. There's still one or two guys' first seasons here, so we're also still starting to learn. But you can see how the team plays, so it's not too difficult to get involved and understand how Mumbai Indians play their cricket. So it's pretty easy for us for doing the transition also.
Right. Now that the Mumbai Indians have qualified for the playoff, would there be any different approach for the rest of the two games?
I don't think so. To be honest, I'm not too sure. I'm not part of that thinking group. But if I had to take a guess, I think we'd like to try and finish top two. I think that would be our number one goal before we do anything else. So if the next game is it's just as important as the last one. So I think that's the goal ahead of us at the moment.
So, despite being qualified, the top two is the topmost priority as of now.
Yeah, I would think so. I think being top two is obviously the most important. I think it's our best chance in trying to get ourselves a spot at the top of the league. In the final. So I think if we had to, I think that would be our number one goal if I had to guess.
Right, and just take us through, the opportunities and playing in a league stage and what changes when it comes to the knockout.
Obviously, to be honest, it doesn't feel like there's too much that changes because the IPL, every game's such an intense game anyway. I think it's just a matter of win or else you get kicked out now during the playoff. I think that's the big thing. I think just the feeling of us came so far. We don't want to get kicked out. So I think that's one of the things. But yeah, other than that, I think not too much else changes.